I certainly know who the New Jersey Devils would not want to see as a wildcard team in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. What's up, Caps fans? That's right, New Jersey Devils fans, just call us daddy already, okay? Yes, that's right, Caps win, beating the Devils in New Jersey for the second time in as many tries this season. 4-2 final score. The best fourth line center in the entire NHL. He returned to the Caps lineup for this game tonight. Judge Judy, they call him affectionately, and that is, of course, Nick Dowd. And he made an immediate impact in his return from injury, as did winger Nicolas Aube-Kubel. They had the fourth line flying for the Caps tonight, so we will talk about that. But first, let's break down the scoring in this game. First period, the aforementioned Nicolas Aube-Kubel playing in his first game of the season, right? It doesn't take him long at all to get onto the score sheet, as he absolutely snipes one past former Caps netminder Vitek Vanacek to give the Caps the 1-0 lead. And what a rocket shot this was from Aube-Kubel. He fired it so hard that, like, at first glance, I thought it was John Carlson shooting that puck. I really did. Because it came flying off of his stick with that much authority. Like, it just looked like a John Carlson shot to me, like I said, at first glance. So good for Aube-Kubel, hell of a shot there. And that one is assisted by Rasmus Sandin and Sonny Milano. And then just 15 seconds after that, Caps head coach Spencer Carberry, he had left the Caps fourth line out on the ice for the ensuing faceoff after the goal. And that move pays dividends right away, as Beck Malenstein then immediately comes in and rips another rocket shot past Vanacek. It was one on Vanacek's blocker side and the other on his glove side. And Devils head coach Lindy Ruff, he has seen enough at this point, and he pulls Vitek Vanacek from this hockey game already. And I've got to tell you, like, I was a little surprised right there by that move, as I'm not really sure, like, what was Vanacek supposed to do there on either one of those shots. I don't know. They were both complete snipes, but hey, to each their own, I guess. It's not my problem what Lindy Ruff wants to do. My team's up 2-0. I don't have any problems at this point. So Malenstein's goal, it was assisted by Aube-Kubel and Martin Feravari. Meanwhile, at the other end of the ice, after the Caps have taken a 2-0 lead and Vanacek, like I said, has been pulled, obviously the Devils are going to have a push, and Charlie Lindgren makes a few massive saves in a row to keep it 2-0 for the good guys. So a great first period. The Caps, they outshoot the Devils 12-2 in the period. That's huge. You know, it's a very dominant start once again by the Washington Capitals. And obviously, where it matters most, that being on the scoreboard, the Caps lead 2-0 as well at the end of 20 minutes. And Nicolas Aube-Kubel, okay, in his first period of his first game of the season, you know, he's got a goal, he's got an assist, and he also drew a penalty as well to put his Caps on the power play. So great to have him back. The Caps fourth line as a whole was phenomenal in this hockey game. And that is something that, you know, Caps fans have gotten used to, right? Pretty much ever since the Caps signed Nick Dowd as a free agent all the way back in 2018. I have said it many times before, you know, I will beat this drum for as long as I'm here. He is the best fourth line center in the National Hockey League. He returned from injury for this game against the Devils, like I said, and he made an immediate impact. You know, he throws a monster hit right away, like on his very first shift. That got things started off on a positive note for the Caps, and he just makes everyone else around him that much better, right? Which is exactly what you want from your fourth line center. This was the first time all season that head coach Spencer Carberry was actually able to ice the fourth line that he had envisioned all summer long after being hired. You know, that being Beck Malenstein on the left wing, Nick Dowd at center, and then Nicolas Aube-Kubel on the right wing. And Carberry, he commented what a huge difference that makes for the team as a whole. Like, when you have that fourth line that you can trust to put out there in any situation. Defensive zone draws, matching up against the opposition's top offensive lines, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, those guys do everything, and that is huge for the whole team. It puts all of the other lines as well into better positions to succeed, right? Abe Kubel's first game of the season, and he scores right away, and he has 2 points as well. Nick Dowd returns from injury, and he goes right back to being Nick Dowd, doesn't miss a beat. And then there's Beck Malenstein, who was a complete animal in this game, as he usually is, really. So just a great effort from a great fourth line. And now let's just hope that everybody can actually stay healthy from here on out. Okay, second period. Let's have a chat here, because for how much all of these armchair experts, right, they like to try to tell us that, like, the New Jersey Devils are so fast, and the Caps are so slow, right? That's all we've heard. How long have we been hearing that for? So to those armchair experts, what I would like to say is, why don't you go ahead, okay, and go watch the third Capitals goal here in this hockey game. Go give it a peek, because it was a straight up foot race with Tom Wilson and Evgeny Kuznetsov against 3 Devils players, okay? Wilson and Kuznetsov both beat out all 3 Devils players to make it a 2-on-0 rush. How often do you see that in the NHL? Not very often at all. So 2-on-0 rush, and Kuznetsov would finish off the pass from Wilson. 3-0 Caps. End scene. Alex Ovechkin as well, he would get the secondary assist on that goal, as he actually was the one who started the play all the way back in the Capitals zone, with a good defensive play, putting the stop to the Devils' attack and relieving the pressure by getting the puck up and out and perfectly onto the tape of line mate Tom Wilson for the attack the other way. So good stuff from the captain, doing all of the little things that it takes to win. Third period. Caps kill off a penalty to start the third period. How often have we been hearing that lately, right? Like, it seems like the Caps are always on the penalty kill to start the third period whenever they're up in a hockey game. The Caps, though, like I said, they do kill off the penalty to start the period, so that's great. They do not allow the Devils to get a shot on net at all on their power play, including Beck Malenstein with a great last-second poke check of a loose puck right before the Devils player slammed it into the wide-open cage. Sexy, sexy stuff right there. Then, the Devils, they head to another power play. Just seconds after the Caps finished killing off the previous one. And again, it is another stellar Washington Capitals penalty kill. They again do not allow the Devils to get a single shot on net on their PP. And in fact, trailing by 3 goals here, the Devils, they did not manage to get their first shot of the third period until 6 minutes into the third. And, even that shot, like, it was a weak muffin pretty much from far outside the perimeter, courtesy of Michael McLeod. The Devils, they would get 2 goals to make it 3-2, but the Caps would shut it down after that, and all's well that ends well, right? And by the way, with the Caps up 3-2 here, and just under 3 minutes left in the game, Rasmus Sandin gets buried by a headshot straight to his head and face. No call. No arm up from the referees once again. How many times have we seen that so far here this season? So the Caps, they should have been headed to a power play there. No doubt about it. The Caps would avenge Sandin, however, by scoring the empty net goal to make it 4-2. And as soon as the Caps went up 4-2, so that, it wasn't just a 1-goal lead that you were protecting anymore, then that is when Tom Wilson, he immediately wanted a piece of Timo Meier for injuring Sandin with that headshot. And you know what? Like, you love to see that from Tom Wilson. And I think that is another way that he has really evolved as a player since his earlier days in the league, is that, while he's obviously always stood up for his teammates, he is now also so good at recognizing the time and the place, right? Like where and when and how to do it. And this was another perfect example of that. He doesn't do it right away, like I said, when we're still only up by just the single goal. Because you obviously don't want to get tagged with a penalty in that situation. And then, you know, the Devils are going 6-on-4 for 2 minutes, only down by 1. That's not great. So Wilson keeps his cool and plays a good shift first. He makes sure that the Devils are not going to score. He helps us to score the empty net goal to seal the game. And then as soon as it's signed, sealed, and delivered, like I said, that's when he turns into the Hulk and goes to avenge his teammate Rasmus Sandin. Because, like I said, it is safe scoreboard-wise at that point to do so. So that is great stuff by Tom Wilson. That has been the norm for him for several years now, is that he picks his spots perfectly to ensure that he is only helping his team and never hurting them. And like I said, you know, that's just another perfect example of the evolution that he's gone through as a player over the last several years. And he did get tagged with the roughing penalty out of that dust-up with Timo Meier, so it is a good thing that he did pick a spot, right? And wait until we were safely up by 2 goals. Because at that point, you know, up by 2 goals late, the game is now effectively over, and you don't really care if he takes the penalty there now, right? Certainly I don't care at all. You know, I wanted him to defend his teammate in that situation, and that's exactly what he did, especially in a game against a division rival. So yeah, Kuznetsov, empty net goal to make it 4-2, assisted by Lucas Johansson and Tom Wilson. That was Kuznetsov's second goal of the game. He also had, of course, the game winner. The Caps would kill off that late penalty to Tom Wilson as well. And like I said, you know, they will take and kill off that penalty every single time when it comes to defending your teammates. So it is a 4-2 final score for the Washington Capitals in New Jersey. Great game, great team win. Let's do it again tomorrow in New York, okay? That is going to be it for me today, babes. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button down below and click on that subscribe button too if you haven't already done so. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, babes, and as always, let's go Caps.